Okay, we're going to go over how to change out a Presta valved rim with a Schrader valve. Now, if you don't know the difference between a Schrader and a Presta are these European-styled valves, which are actually really better for narrow tires, super narrow tires. These aren't super narrow tires. I don't really need a Presta valve. I prefer the Schrader valve. Schrader valve has a couple of advantages for me anyway. First off, I ride in the street, which means I pick up glass and thorns and stuff, and I want to use slime in it. You can put slime in a Presta valve, but it's very difficult. Secondly, if I'm out and about, I don't want to have to look for an adapter. Any automotive pump can fill this up. You got to have the special adapter for this. Granted, it's cheap and it's small, but it's not everywhere. So, how do you get rid of this? Well, first thing you do, let the air out of this. It actually means we actually have to alter the rim. This will marginally weaken the rim, but unless you're doing something crazy, this ain't going to be an issue. You're going to need tire tools. I have two cheap ones, little plastic goopers. Take the tire off. Inside, you see this, mine's red, yours could be black or whatever. There's a piece of plastic or rubber in here that protects the tube from all the holes for the spokes. We gotta get that out. Sometimes a tire tool will do it. In this case, I'm going to use a flathead. Be careful not to break it. This is usually rubber and it's a little stretchy. There we go. I'm going to get this completely. I'm not even going to take it. Well, it's going to come all the way out. Not really worried about it coming out. Easy to put back in. You can see, I haven't done anything to the rim yet. You see these little chunks of, this is actually steel, or the aluminum from the rim. And a lot of times when you get a flat in a new wheel, this is why. It's because of all this crap that's in here. Before you reinstall that, this is a wet paper towel. I like to clean this. Get as much of this off of there as I can. Use a wet rag, wet paper towel, something, a wet cloth of some degree. Usually, a lot of the debris will stick to something that's wet when it won't stick to something that's dry. Anyway, so what we have to do is make this hole that the Presta valve used to go through. We need to make that big enough for the Schrader valve, because the Schrader valve is fatter. You can see a Schrader valve is not going to fit through that hole. So we need a drill bit that's bigger than the Schrader valve. And that's where this comes in. This is actually bigger than the Schrader valve, but not by much. But we want it to be big enough so that the Schrader valve doesn't actually rub against the metal when it's sticking through the rim. We need a little clearance. It's real simple. Make sure your wheel is somewhat secure and go to town. I'm right-handed. Let me do this way. There we go. Hole's big enough now. You see all those shavings in there. Got to get rid of those. Shake out most of them. Back to our wet rag. Get the rest of them out of there as best you can. There we go. And you want to take, now you saw when I got done drilling, I kind of wiggled the drill around. That usually gets rid of any barbs, or most of the barbs, and it did a fine job this time around. Nice and smooth. If there's any barbs, you want to scrape them off. Now before you put the strip back on, make sure you inspect the hole with your finger, with your eyes. Make sure there's no barbs holding out. Check with your, or poking out. check with your eyes first. If you don't see anything, check with your fingers gently so you don't get cut. Make sure there's no barbs coming out that are going to pop your tube, okay? Then we got to put our strip back in. Good and clean. Now, in my opinion, this is actually more of a challenge than the tube itself, because once you start this, the holes have to be lined up. That's not going to do any good. So you got to get them lined up. But once you start wrestling this on there, it's going to move. And it's very unlikely you're going to be able to get that to stay without some sort of help. So I can put a little bolt or screwdriver, whatever, in there to get that to stay in place as I convince the rest of it to go where I need it to go. Oh. You want to work to the opposite side of that hole so that you don't pull it left or the right. See, it comes out nice and straight. You might have to try a couple times to get that to work. That's sometimes a challenge. Okay. Valve cap. And there you have it. We've taken our unslimable Presta and turned it into a slimed Schrader. You see there's plenty of room there. We're not going to have any problems with the rim. Rim's nice and strong still. Your local bike shop snob will tell you this is a bad idea because he wants to sell you a tire or a wheel. There you go. Next video, maybe we'll show you how you can actually slime a Presta. A lot of work, and I don't like it.